So, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate looks like it's attempting to be the most all-purpose crowd-pleasing Smash Bros. Game possible. Not only are they including literally every single Smash Bros. Character that's ever appeared in the series, but many of them are being retooled so they can be represented in ways the fans have always dreamed of. Ganondorf finally using his sword for more than just a taunt, Zelda finally showing more personality than Snake's cardboard box, and Ike finally having two slightly different voice lines for his costumes.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Oh, it's beautiful. However, as the saying goes, you can't please everyone. And much like the whiny Nintendo fanboy I am, I'm about to complain about something. You see, there was one character in particular that I was kind of hoping would get a bit of a revamp, but from the looks of things, I don't think that's going to be the case. And that character is the one and only King of the Koopas, Bowser. Let's do this. I don't really have to go through the whole big introduction for this now, do I? Because I'm pretty sure most people watching this video know who Bowser is. Hell, I bet some people who barely even play video games might at least recognize him, even if it's just as that big turtle monster dude from Mario Kart. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but to me, Bowser in the Smash Bros. Series has always felt a little off. There's just something that doesn't quite line up between this Bowser and that Bowser. Now, if I had to hazard a guess as to why that is, I'd probably say something like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that he's missing any sort of shred of personality or charm to him, you know, that might be it. Whew. Calm the f*** down, Joe, it's just a video game. See, back in the very first Mario game, there really wasn't much to Bowser's character, outside of being a big monster who kidnaps the princess, breathes fire, and was slightly larger than the other enemies. And that's how you know he's the boss. Now, that isn't a mark against those games or anything. I mean, with only 8 bits to work with, I'm pretty sure the characterization of the villain was the least of their concerns. But then, throughout the years, Bowser has sort of drastically changed as a character, while at the same time not really changing much at all. Ugh, that sounds messy. Let me explain. See, as far as Bowser's goals and motives are concerned, yeah, they haven't really budged an inch since the original title. If you're playing a Mario game, chances are it'll start off like,
This is Bowser here.
yoink. Where Bowser has changed is through his, and say it with me now, characterization. Oh, we need to work on that. You see, at some point they must have realized, hey, maybe we should make the main villain of the Mario games a little more, I don't know, fun, a little more cartoony. Let's just give him a wacky clown helicopter. And since then, Bowser's been slowly accumulating more of a sillier side to him. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still evil, right? He's an aggressive, tyrannical, power-hungry monster bent on taking over the Mushroom Kingdom by force. But at the same time, he's also shown to be arrogant, immature, clumsy, loudmouthed, ignorant, single-minded, impatient, has an incredibly fragile ego, and has a huge crush on the princess that's both adorable and a little weird given this species. Do you think the other Koopas call it a human fetish? His acts of villainy have also started to grow incredibly inconsistent. You'd be playing one game where you venture through his gauntlet of deceptive and malicious traps, fighting your way to the end where he awaits you with a sinister organ piece. Then you pop in another one where he's dressing up like a cowboy and trying to sabotage a board game. Sometimes the game will end in a grand and climactic final battle where the fate of the entire universe is at stake. He'll be sitting upon his throne awaiting your arrival, and when you fight, the music's all like... And then sometimes it ends with you walking in on him in the bathtub, and he's like,
"Oh, well, f*** me, I was not expecting you to show up here this early."
And somehow, these two don't feel like separate characters. I mean, Bowser's doing this shit constantly, and he has a kid to raise. He can't always be at the top of his game. But Bowser has passion. Bowser has a drive. Bowser just loves being the bad guy. I feel like he doesn't even care how his goals are accomplished, just as long as he's being evil with it. You can invite the guy to play tennis with you, and he's there building a secret underground tennis lair and plotting to take over the tennis tournament. And it's this comedic side that makes us all love Bowser so much. I mean, ask any hardcore Nintendo fan what game has their favorite depiction of Bowser in it, and I'm guessing it'll be one of the RPGs, where Bowser often takes a backseat from his main villain role. You know, like Paper Mario Sticker Star. Now let's talk about Smash Brothers. Bowser made his first appearance in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and here, yeah, he didn't really have much to him personality-wise. He was just a big lumbering monster who made Godzilla noises and was all hunched over like his original NES sprite. Yes, it seems that Sakurai wanted to take Bowser back to his roots for his first Smash Bros. Appearance, and you know what, that's alright. I was fine with it back when I was a kid. I mean, there wasn't really much of a standard for how Bowser was portrayed back then, and there were still plenty of games where he just roared like that. But as the years went on, Bowser started developing more of the voice and personality that we've come to expect from him. And then Brawl comes around and it's like, nope, he's still the same. Yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. Does it look like I care? Because I don't care. In all fairness, they did give him one taunt where he does sort of like a clumsy little dance, so hey, that's something. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we turn Bowser into a clown here. All I'm saying is that there should be more of a balance between Bowser being both imposing and comedic. A balance that Smash Bros. Just isn't quite achieving. But then we have Smash 4. Now this was the game. It looked like they were finally updating characters to better align with their current incarnations, and Bowser was one of the first shown off. Sakurai proudly displayed that he was no longer a hunchbacked creature. The Wii Fit trainer had come along and straightened out his posture. He was now finally standing tall. And that's about it. I mean, sure, he was changed quite a bit in the gameplay department, making him a little more mobile and a little less slumbering, but he was still making all the same noises, and I'd argue that his face became even less expressive than it was before. I mean, look at this face. To me, this face says evil, devious, villainous. And this one, on the other hand, just kinda looks mildly aggravated, but perhaps I'm reading way too much into this now. So what's the deal here? How did Bowser end up the way he did in the Smash Bros. Series? Well, to answer that, we need to delve into the mind of this beautiful, beautiful man. I recall hearing a rumor some time ago that Sakurai actually stated that he doesn't like the modern Bowser design, and, well, there you go, that's pretty much the answer right there. Video over. Problem is, Sakurai never exactly said that. What he did say was basically that Giga Bowser came from how Sakurai originally depicted the old NES sprite. As he describes, "When I looked at the original Bowser, I saw a frenzied, terrifying monster. But advancements in technology have allowed designers to convey characters in greater detail, and in recent games his image has steadily become cuter." So yeah, he never outright stated that he doesn't like the modern Bowser design, but part of me feels like it's sort of implied when he uses statements like, "Naturally this is a current game, so it needs to use his current design." I just sensed the tiniest bit of, I don't know, passive-aggressiveness right there maybe, and I feel like that's sort of how we ended up with the Bowser we got in Smash. I mean, it just makes way too much sense, doesn't it? Sakurai used to see Bowser as this ferocious, ravenous monster, and now it's finally time for him to bring Bowser into Smash Bros., and despite having to use the modern design, he's going to sort of nudge the character into being portrayed in the ways that he's always seen him. This is just sort of a little quirk I've come to notice with Sakurai here. On one hand, he does some characters so perfectly that it almost feels like they've leapt right out of their game, but on the other, he seems to have these visions of certain characters that just don't quite match up to how they're depicted in their own series. Bowser being some mindless hulking monster, Mario being a lot less Yahoo! And a lot more
"Your days of terrorizing the universe are over."
Samus making all these robot noises, and Luigi being a f***ing weirdo. Now, I'm not trying to demonize Sakurai for this or anything. I mean, the man's done some amazing work with this franchise. But he's only human, and when you have the power to make all the changes you want, the power to influence every single aspect of a project, all in order to satisfy your own trivial desires, well, I think that's something any of us might do in that situation, right? I mean, hell, I'd made an entire video about how I would run the Smash Bros. Series with this new game, a completely serious video that definitely showcases my qualifications. Basically, what I'm saying is that the man has his preferences, and I suppose he's earned the right to push his preferences, even if they don't happen to align with mine.
But how would you propose we change Bowser in Smash Brothers?
Well, I'm very glad you asked that, mysterious voice in my head. As far as his moveset is concerned, yeah, that can pretty much stay the same. He has used some unorthodox methods of attacking before, and it would be great if they found ways to incorporate his minions into certain moves, like with Mario and Luigi's Vor Adventure, but Bowser has traditionally been more of a brute force kind of guy, so his moveset isn't exactly the problem. I'd mostly just want him to be more lively and expressive with his face and taunts, but if that's a little too much, then there is one simple change that would satisfy me: the voice. Bowser has an established voice that is used in every single game these days, except for Smash Brothers. Now, I want you to do me a favor. Close your eyes and listen to both of these, and tell me what you think sounds more like Bowser. This? Or this? I don't know, did that help my case at all? I feel like no one else cares about this but me. I remember it really stuck out to me in this one cutscene in the Subspace Emissary, where Bowser is escaping with the princess, and we just hear this. Like, that just doesn't sound right. Look, all I'm saying is that it's weird to have all the Koopalings in Smash with their colorful voices and personalities, and all while dear old dad is here still growling like Godzilla. But at the end of the day, is this really that big of a deal? I'd say no, not really. What I'm doing is what you might call nitpicking. I don't believe that Sakurai has completely bastardized the character of Bowser here, making this version a completely unplayable disgrace that I dare not even sully my eyes to look upon. Hell, I don't even think these issues are nearly as bad as a character like Ganondorf's are, with his Captain Falcon fanboy moveset. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there were some people who prefer this version of Bowser, and that's just fine by me. You know, playing as Bowser in this game, it still feels fine, you know? It feels right. You still feel like you're Bowser. But what it's missing is just that little something else, you know? Like that little extra touch, in my opinion. It's like having an ice cream sundae without the cherry on top. Like watching The Room without a crowd. Like listening to Gorgoroth without a human sacrifice. Basically, what I am is a Bowser fan. And as a fan, I believe it's my duty to not be satisfied with what I'm given, wanting more out of something that most people would hardly ever think twice about. And unfortunately, from the looks of things, I think Bowser is going to be staying just the way he is in Ultimate. But you know what? That's fine, because I believe that King K Rool is just what I need to fill this Bowser-shaped hole in my heart. I mean, look at this beautiful creature. He strikes that perfect balance between being imposing and comedic, with his deranged facial expressions and colorful moveset. The only downside is that he also happens to make animal noises instead of talking. I mean, come on, Sakurai. You're not gonna use his voice from that terrible CGI nightmare Donkey Kong cartoon show? You're not gonna have King K Rool sing?
Now that I have the power, this is my finest hour. Bait you on my hook, just like a worm. Before I crush you like a bug, come over here and give me a hug. It gives me so much joy to watch you squirm.
Basically, what I'm saying is that Smash Brothers needs more musical numbers.
I can sing, you guys. Yeah, I want me to sing as Bowser, and that doesn't work. Bowser's all like...
Well, I think that sounded beautiful. Hey there! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then hey, why not give it a like, comment, and subscribe? And hey, you know, why not share it with other people? Isn't that right, Bowser?
No!
Here you go, buddy. You can just have that right there.
You got a friend in me.